I can't say that I've much been looking forward to this, but it is time. It's that point in the season where we have to openly, candidly, and honestly react to our pre-season predictions. There is nowhere to run, there is nowhere to hide. We have to acknowledge the truth. Warts and all. We have to acknowledge the good.
They are capable of qualifying for the Champions League next year, and I genuinely think they're going to do it.
We have to acknowledge the bad.
Mason Mount is officially a Manchester United player. We are strengthening a rival. Manchester United have got a fantastic player on their hands at a bargain price.
And we have to acknowledge the ugly, otherwise known as the Amrabat.
Gosh, Amrabat would be an amazing signing.
Now, if it's all the same to you and you don't mind, I would really like to commence this video with something that I got right. I would like to focus, initially at least, on one prediction that I am fairly proud of. Come on, allow me this, please. I deserve it. I get pelters on a virtual daily basis for my predictions. So, when I get something right, particularly something that's slightly obscure, I think I am allowed to at least momentarily bask in the glory. So, if it's all the same to you, we're going to focus on Villa. I asserted in July last year, round about my birthday, I was on TalkSport and I asserted that Aston Villa would make it into the Champions League spaces.
I think that we actually need to start talking about Aston Villa in a totally different way. This is it. This is the moment that we have to look at them through a totally different lens. They are capable of qualifying for the Champions League next year. I genuinely believe that. I think the signings that they've made already, Tielemans, Pau Torres, really astute signing. And now this, smashing their transfer record. They are backed so well. This is the jewel in the crown. Unai Emery.
Yeah.
They have one of the best managers in the league. So they have everything in place to have a serious and sustained bid for silverware and European football next season. And I genuinely think they're going to do it.
Now, if you look at the comments on this video on Twitter itself, you will see that a lot of people disagreed with me. A lot of people were venomous towards my suggestion that Villa were going to break into the top four. The vast majority of people in their predictions did not have Aston Villa anywhere near the top four. Not many people saw them playing in Champions League football next season, but this is one that I got right. I most certainly did. And I made my feelings known. To explore why, there are many reasons as to why I believe Aston Villa are capable, why I saw it going so well for Aston Villa. You know, you can acknowledge the size of the club. Aston Villa are a massive club. You know, in 1982, they went over to Rotterdam and they won the European Cup. It's important to acknowledge quite what prestige Aston Villa have. And they're actually a club that belong in Europe's top-tier competition. Villa Park, a huge ground, the whole end, one of the most iconic ends in the country, a huge support, a great team, Leon Bailey, Pau Torres, Dougie Luiz, John McGinn, but crucially, Unai Emery. Unai Emery is an elite manager, and with him at the helm, anything is possible. So, the Aston Villa prediction. So far, so good, eh? Got a bad feeling this is about to turn sour. So, I've started on a high, it's only right now that we go to a low. It's the fair and it's the just thing to do. So, we will now talk about a Rory Jennings howler. I basically said that it is impossible to win 4 league titles in a row. The quote that I used was, nobody's won 4 titles in a row for a reason. And when I say nobody, I mean nobody. Even the years of dominance from the likes of Huddersfield Town before the Premier League was even established, nobody had done 4. And everybody knows how much I love football history. People often call me a nostalgia merchant, which I think is insulting. Is it? Is that an insulting term? Somebody calls you a nostalgia merchant. Is that a cuss? Or is it supportive? Who knows? But with all of that in mind, I let the past cloud my vision of the future, and I let it taint the brilliance of Pep Guardiola in my own mince pies.
You don't think City will win it?
Well, nobody's ever won 4 in a row.
Yeah,
History's taught you that this doesn't happen.
Yeah, but then if anyone can rewrite history, it's them.
Arsenal win the league.
No, they don't.
They do.
They don't. You know what? You know what they don't? This Man City team win 14 in a row. You've got to win 14 in a row.
Not anymore.
Why not?
This Man City team won't do that. I said 4 was impossible. I said Arsenal would win the league because 4 is impossible. I even, rather weirdly, brought up Dwight York. The Dwight York effect. Have you read that? Have you seen that? No. Dwight York effect. It's when Dwight York, who sounds like a remarkable character, right? I'm just sort of reading about him at the moment. When they won the treble, this is genuine. He went into Sir Alex Ferguson's office just as the new season training was starting, knocked on the door, and this is like a proper conversation. Asked to sit down, need to see the manager. And Sir Alex Ferguson said, of course, we can talk about anything. He said, okay, boss, we've won the treble last year. I was a huge part of that. What I would really like is full pay and a year off because my motivation is gone.
Interesting.
And I have succeeded to such a level that I now need some time off. And I don't see how I can improve. I don't see how we can get anywhere. So I need full pay and a year off. Obviously, Sir Alex Ferguson was like, shut up, get out there, win the league again. This is a howler, you know. This is a really bad one. Because what I just said there, I said that Pep Guardiola effectively won't be able to go again. He won't be able to inspire his team. He won't be able to reimagine his squad. He won't be able to invigorate this team. All of the above was proved so false. They have been a force to be reckoned with this season. Dazzling, incredibly unlucky in the European Cup, amazing in the Premier League, and they secured the 4 in a row. They pipped Arsenal. I said Arsenal would win the league. I don't see that as a howler. I really don't see that as a howler. But justifying why Arsenal will win the league by saying that 4 is impossible. I was wrong. I was so wrong, because that is what Pep Guardiola does, and I should have seen it coming. I should have been a little bit more insightful, a little bit more ambitious, because Pep Guardiola changes. What Guardiola inherits isn't the same as what he distributes. Football isn't the same. He breaks records. The Centurions, man. Why didn't I use the Centurions as a case study for this? When I said 4 can't be done, 4 has never been done before, 4 has never been done for a reason, I should have just said, hang on a minute. That's a dream for Pep Guardiola. Guardiola, never doubt the man. Guardiola is going to use the history as a motivation. And he, therefore, has redefined football in this country yet again. 4 has now been done. 4 is now legitimately possible. And I was wrong to doubt Guardiola. Disaster is about to strike. This is the part of the video that most of you will be here to enjoy. This is the part of the video that I am most fearful of. These 2 shouts that we are about to explore are distressingly bad. When I see these back, it is bewildering quite how wrong I could be. Now, just before we go any further, can I ask you a massive favour? Please, if you're enjoying this video, will you click subscribe? We are inching ever closer to 300,000 subscribers. That is the promised land. That is the land of milk and honey. And I would love to welcome you into this community. Please, it would really help me out. Click subscribe. It would be my honour to welcome you into this community. Thank you so much. So let's get into it. Okay, we are going to start with this one. I am over the moon that Kai Havertz could be leaving Chelsea, and I am equally over the moon that he could be going to Arsenal, because I don't rate him. I just cannot for the life of me understand how Arsenal Football Club can see Kai Havertz as being the answer to whatever problems or questions that they currently need solved. I do not know what Kai Havertz would lend to that Arsenal squad that would improve them on any level. What does he take? What qualities does Kai Havertz take to Arsenal's squad that they don't already have in abundance, delivered to them by better players? What does he bring? What is he better at than Gabriel Jesus? What is he better at than Martin Odegaard? What is he better at than Gabriel Martinelli? What can he do that other players in that squad can't do? Painfully, I was wrong. I was so wrong, in fact, that merely 10 months off the back of the clip that you have just watched, I had to make this video. It's painful how this has gone. To watch him develop and contribute to Arsenal the way that he is now hurts my soul. Because I have no choice but to admit this. Kai Havertz, for the last couple of months, has been simply hard to even say it. He's been sensational. So, my Kai Havertz shout was poor. It's upsetting. It's destabilising. Due to Havertz, my equilibrium is now off. Must be the lithium. But amazingly, it isn't even the worst.
I am terribly sorry for interrupting this video, but I need to let you know something that is so important. I need to demonstrate quite how amazing it is to play poker at a PokerStars event. They are sensational, so glamorous. I got to hang out with some superstars, and he definitely preferred me. Look at him, he's cuddling me, he's loving me. Me and Serge, we're best mates. Then it's all about playing the other beautiful game in my life. There is nothing quite like it. The buzz, the sensation, the feeling when you bluff someone off a good hand. It's up there with a Champions League victory. Good fun, good food, good drinks, a great ambience. You have to get yourself to a PokerStars event. Trust me, they are wonderful.
Of all of the predictions that I've made, not only last summer, in my entire lifetime, the one that is most deplorable, the one that is most dreadful, the one that frightens me to my core, the one that I'm not sure I will ever recover from involves expressions.
Do a bet right now. Do a bet right now.
You won't. I bet you that Chelsea finish above you this season.
Gee, alright, we'll do that.
I bet you that Chelsea finish
Let's do
above
that
you
right
this
now.
season. Okay, 100 quid.
100.
riches.
Fine, and that's 5 in
100.
Ugandan shillings. We'll take that.
Done.
Yeah, cool.
Of all of the regrettable predictions that I have ever made, this bet with expressions regarding Tottenham Hotspur cuts me to my core. How have Chelsea not finished above Tottenham? Tottenham are useless. Tottenham's manager is useless. Tottenham's players are useless. Tottenham as a football club are useless. And somehow they fluked it and they finished above us. We took 6 points off them this season. He is so lucky, that expression. So lucky. Because if the season had gone on for another 2 weeks, we would have got them. We would have finished above them. But annoyingly, Sheffield United couldn't do us a favour on the last day of the season. And not only do we have to suffer the ignominy of watching Tottenham Hotspur finish above Chelsea, something that should never happen. Never let Tottenham fans paint this in a way that is favourable to them either, by the way. Chelsea were finishing above Tottenham for decades. Nothing to do with Abramovich. We were smashing them 4-3 at Stamford Bridge with a Mark Stein winner in the last minute, way before anyone knew who Roman Abramovich was. Bernard Lambord was scoring winners at White Hart Lane when Roman Abramovich was still in short trousers. And yet somehow, this year, of all years, I got myself into a pickle, man. I had to bet with expressions. I now have to go and see him this week and hand over £100. I really don't want to do it. And watching Tottenham finish above us is bad. But me having to suffer and hand over £100 to expressions because my football team has achieved the impossible and have capitulated more than Tottenham. Agonising. Truly agonising. So the final thing that we can do is look at my table. How did I see the table finishing before a ball was kicked this season? Overall, I don't think I got it too wrong, did I? I said that Arsenal would win the league and Manchester City would finish second. Ultimately, they finished the other way around, Liverpool third. Not the end of the world. I certainly didn't anticipate Manchester United having the worst Premier League season that they have ever had. Off the back of Erik ten Hag's first season, where they qualified for the European Cup and won silverware, I expected them to kick on. I expected them to keep moving in the right direction. I most certainly didn't see them languishing so far down the table. I had Chelsea making it into the top four, which is a real shame. And I had Aston Villa also making it into the European Cup, finishing fifth, because at the time we believed that fifth spot would be Europe. If you take Chelsea out of it, I didn't predict that Chelsea would have such a bad season. I actually thought Aston Villa would be there. Newcastle, not the end of the world. I'm looking at this. My relegation sides, Sheffield United, Luton, I had Everton to go, Forest languishing. I don't think my league table is too bad. But it's going to be up to you. Will you let me know your thoughts in the comments below? I'll tell you what I'm going to do now, really early. I'm going to give you a prediction. One big prediction for next season. Brighton and Hove Albion are getting relegated. Trust me on that one. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. Really hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a like. Please click subscribe. We're inching ever closer to 300,000 subscribers, so it would be an honour to welcome you into this community. Please click subscribe if you haven't done already. Amazing. I hope you have a wonderful day. In a bit.